Well, I think the globalisation of music and the accessibility of music has changed everything. People's ability to release albums themselves, they don't necessarily need record labels, some would say. Others would say that you still absolutely do need a record label. The nature of digital deals have changed hugely. Spotify, Pandora, Rhapsody, Deezer, all these things have started to revolutionise the way that consumers view music. And music has become not just something you put on whilst you're cooking on the radio, it's there all the time, all day, every day. So I think the music industry is at a really interesting moment because it's got to move with all of these new changes. And I think the music industry has been has been behind the times on certain format shifts. So physical to digital. We as an industry have been quite behind the times in picking that up. Hence why piracy has been such a huge issue for both record industry and for the publishing industry. Digital, that's very important. I think it's quite an innovative time for music as well, because there's so many people making music, and there's so many, as I said, there's so many ways to release music. So again, not limiting yourself to this format exists, therefore that's the only format I can put my music out on. It's like, well, can we create a new format? Is there a new way to sell music that nobody's actually, delivered on a plate yet? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is, well, yes, there is. It's just about creating it, developing it, etc. So I think it's a really interesting time for the music industry. In terms of the number of companies in the industry, I think music industry is constricting. So there's becoming fewer, bigger companies that represent artists and writers and composers. The danger of that is that it becomes less about the artists and the writers and more about profit margins and the bottom line exclusively. Obviously there's got to be a balance between the two. So I think that the challenges for the music industry are to maintain the corporate with the creative, to find that middle line between both sides, particularly as we move into this very digital online era, which we're squarely in the middle of already, but we don't know where it's going necessarily over the next 10 years. So open-mindedness and flexibility, I think, is going to be absolutely key to the music industry, making sure it represents its artists and writers to the best of its ability.